I think one of the biggest lies on social media is that women just wake up one day and they quit their jobs and they just magically build a thriving business. That's not usually what happens or how it happens. Most successful business owners don't just jump. They build a bridge. If you've been dreaming about opening your business, whether it's starting a bakery or a photography studio, becoming a consultant or having an online store, or just turning your passion into a business. If you've been dreaming about opening that bakery, starting the photography business, becoming a consultant, having an online store, just turning your passion into a business, this video is for you. I'm Darcel Lobo, an attorney who's owned her own business. I've had my own law firm now for 10 years, and I'm here to help you get your business open and to help you achieve your dreams. And today I'm going to walk you through the 5-step plan that you need to have in place before opening your new business. And today I'm going to walk you through your 5-step exit plan for you to be able to open your business. Step 1 is going to be, before you actually build your business, let's sit down and build a vision for your life and what you want that to look like. So before you start thinking about business plans and logos and websites and maybe even what you're going to sell, we need to be asking ourselves a much bigger question. What do I actually want my life to look like? For so many women, we have spent years building our lives around everyone else. We build our careers around what feels secure. We build our schedules around our families. We become the person that everyone else depends on. And somewhere along the way, we stop asking what we want. And if you're like me, you're a mom and you're also a professional. You have a career that you've built and you're trying to figure out, how can I have both? And for me, when I went out on my own 10 years ago now, there was a lot that I wanted just by means of freedom and time. So maybe for you, you want the ability to volunteer in your kids' classrooms, to take a Wednesday off or a Friday off, to not have to ask permission to take time off when a kiddo is sick, to be able to travel more. Maybe you just want to work 4 days a week. Maybe you want to build something for yourself that you're genuinely proud of doing, and being able to wake up excited to work on your business and what you're growing rather than just be counting down the days until it's Friday. And don't get me wrong, like, being a mom is one of the most important roles. And don't get me wrong, like, being a mom is one of the most important and fulfilling roles like that I've ever had and that probably you've ever had. But that's just part of who we are. There's more to us as a whole person. And for a lot of us, going out on our own and opening our own business is what helps bring us that fulfillment that we're looking for from our careers. Because you're allowed to want a career that challenges you and that fulfills you and that really gives you that sense of purpose. You're allowed to create something that is yours and that you've made for yourself. And that's a different type of fulfillment than being a mom and all the other roles that you have in your life. And also, I feel like when your children see you out there building this business, pursuing your dreams, pursuing your goals, like, I think that makes you a better example even for your children as far as what's possible and there being no limitations and believing in yourself. And so once you become clear on the life that you want and what you want in creating your business, the business starts to make a lot more sense as far as what you should or shouldn't do and how you should proceed. Because yes, the goal is to open a business, but even bigger, the bigger goal is that we want to build a business that supports the life that you want to live, and not just be building your life around your business, but to have a business that supports what you want to do, how you want to live, and how you want to show up for yourself. Now let's get to step 2, because we don't want to just plan for your exit or for your escape from your current 9-to-5 or wherever you're employed, right? But we want to plan for your freedom, because that's why you want to open your business, right? You want freedom as far as time and flexibility and for your earning potential. You want all those doors to open for you that you can't really get where you're currently working in your 9-to-5. And so let's start looking at how we can create options for you as an entrepreneur. So instead of just asking, how do I get out? How do I quit? How do I leave this job? Let's start asking ourselves, how do I build a business that eventually makes my job optional? How do I make that transition into going out on my own and opening that business? You don't have to entirely stop one day and then start the new business the next day. Like, there could be a bridge that we build between the two. And let me tell you, opening your own business where you are quitting a job where you have a guaranteed paycheck every 2 weeks, like, that's scary. And it should be scary. Like, there's no getting around that fear that you're feeling. You're doing something entirely new for the first time. You've never done this before. And when I quit my job back in February of 2016 to open my own business, I had never done that before either. And I didn't know if I even knew how to figure it out. Like, for me, I was opening a law firm, but whatever your business may be, like, this is the first time you ever have done this. This is the first time you've ever gone down this path yourself. And so it's going to be scary. You're going to have the fear. Those are totally normal feelings to have, but we're not going to let them stop you from taking those next steps. And for me, 10 years ago, 10 and a half years ago, I did my homework. And that's what you're going to do. And you probably already are doing, is doing your homework and building that bridge to opening your own business, whatever that may be, and putting one foot in front of the other, which is what exactly you're going to do as you are paving that bridge for yourself into entrepreneurship. Step 3, we're going to figure out what your number is. Let's call this like your freedom number. Like, what exact amount of money do you need to be able to cover the expenses that you're responsible for, that you need to be able to bring in from your business? Because everyone talks about, 6 figures, but like, that's kind of like vague. Are we talking 100,000? Are we talking 700,000? Maybe for you, your dream income is to earn $250K a year. But what do you actually need to cover whatever your expenses may be, right? So if you have not done so already, this is where you need to take the time, take pen to paper or on your computer or whatever planner you want to use and figure out, what does it actually cost you to live your life every month, right? Your mortgage, your groceries, the childcare, insurance, savings, retirement, like whatever the expenses are, you need to know what that number is and what you actually need to have in your pocket every month to cover those expenses. Now, we're going to grow from there. We're not going to stay with that number, right? But we need to know, where do we need to start? We need something tangible to be able to work with as we're creating this plan and going out on our own and opening our own business. Now, step 4 is we're going to build before we leap. Now, everybody says you have to take the leap, you have to take the, jump, you have to, just take that step. And that's true. I believe that 100%. However, we're not going to do so with a blindfold on. We're going to do our homework. We're going to start pre-planning and putting things together, putting the pieces in motion, building the foundation of our business before we take that jump, right? We're going to take a jump where we've done some pre-calculations, right? And have just done some of the work beforehand and not do so blindly. And so whatever it is that you're going to be doing, whether it's opening that Etsy shop, or maybe you want to be a freelancer, again, photography, or you want to go into coaching, you want to open a cleaning business, you want to open the online business, like whatever that might be for you, whatever that dream is there a way for you to start serving customers now? Is there a way for you to start building that business now and just have a couple of customers on the side? And now for some of you, you may be in a profession where that's not possible. Maybe you're going to stay in the same line of work that you're doing now and you just want to do it on your own, but you can't compete with your current employer. And so you may be in a position where you can't do the work on the side. And I understand that because I was in that same position. Like when I was working at a prior law firm, I wasn't able to take clients of my own on the side. Like I couldn't take any clients until I had actually quit that prior job. And so you may be in that scenario also. And so if you cannot do so, we can still build a strong foundation for the business, right? We can still do the steps to get the business ready so that once you do take that jump and you have quit your job, that you are not starting at ground zero and you're able to hit the ground running. So start writing down, like, what are the things that you can start doing now to set your business up for success once it is open? What is the work that you can do now to make sure that you're able to get clients in the door in month 1? you probably already know the answers to these things. You already know what you need to do. So let's make that list and start checking those things off of our list as we navigate towards that opening date, as we get closer and closer on the calendar to whatever that date is when you're going to open that business. And for step 5, we've got to make sure that we are willing to bet on ourselves. Because for years you have put your faith in a company and getting a paycheck or having a certain job title, and we trust someone else to recognize our value and give us opportunities and to really determine what we're worth. But what if you started believing in yourself the way that you believe in everyone else? And think about all the things that you've already accomplished. You have solved problems, you've probably led projects, you've probably managed people, you have learned new skills, you've adapted to change, you've figured out challenges before that you never thought you could handle. Those things didn't happen by accident. Those are all proof that you're capable. And the truth is, starting a business is not about knowing every answer. You're not going to know every answer. I've been a business owner for over 10 years now. I've been an attorney for 17 years, and I'm still figuring things out as I go. We're not waiting for perfect because that day will never come. What we do need to know is that we have the ability to figure things out and to find the answers as we go, to know that we are resourceful, to know that we can trust ourselves to navigate that journey and figure things out. And every successful business owner is going to have moments of doubt. I know I did, and sometimes I still do, right? And especially early on, there were days when I questioned, was my law firm going to be a success or was it going to be a flop? Would clients even hire me? Was I making the biggest mistake of my life? And then also all the self-doubt, wondering if I was even really capable of building a law firm. So the key here is to know it's not that I was fearless when I opened my business. The difference was that I decided fear wasn't going to make that decision for me. Again, fear is normal. You're going to have the fear, but we're not going to let it sit in the driver's seat of our car. Fear is not driving the car. It can be a passenger. Hopefully it's a backseat passenger. So it's along for the ride. It's there to help keep you on course. But it's not making the decisions. It's not running the show. Because here is what I have learned in my 10 years of business ownership. No one's going to believe in your dream more than you. No one is going to build this future for you. You are the one who can do that. And one day you're going to look back and realize the greatest investment that you had ever made was in having the courage to believe that you were capable of building a life that you wanted and building a business that you wanted and achieving all the goals that you wanted to set to achieve for yourself. So I hope this inspires you to start taking the steps that you know you need to take to get that business open, to start building a life you wanted. With this 5-step exit plan, with going through these steps, taking the notes, and checking off your list as you go. I believe in you, and I believe in your ability to figure it out and to build this life for yourself. And if you don't quite yet believe in yourself yet, I understand that. So you can lean on my belief in you. And so you have to build that for yourself. So, all right. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.